Good morning. Our today's topic is memory drawing. Let's see the material required: pencil, eraser, long scale, poster colors, brushes, palette, black macro tip pen, 1/4 side drawing paper or a drawing book. Draw 1 cm border onto a page. Write down the heading and left hand corner write down today's date. Now let's start the drawing. First we are going to draw one sleeping line and one vertical line to divide a foreground and background. The upper part is background and lower part is a foreground. Then we are going to arrange the figures on a paper. The figure should be one width, that is 15 cm height. Those are standing, and the sitting figures approximately 10 to 12 cm. One figure is standing on a stool, so we are going to draw slightly upper side. Then roughly we are going to draw the figure. Don't draw directly with the dark pencils. First we have to roughly draw with the HB pencil, just outlines, and then finalize with the 2B pencil. Here I am going to draw slightly darken because you can't see the drawing properly. That's why slightly darken we are going to draw here, but generally you have to draw very much light so that you can easily erase it and arrange it. First we are going to arrange a drawing properly on a paper. All the figures should be placed on a foreground. Then we are going to draw the stool and one figure on a slightly lower side. Now this is our rough drawing. Now we are going to start to add some details like window, doors, the 3D dimension of the doors. Now this is our rough drawing. Now we are going to finalize the drawing. This is our final drawing with a 2B pencil with details. Now erase all unnecessary lines with the eraser. Drawing should be dark because we are going to apply one background color, light tone of the colors. So if your drawing is light, then this might be filled out. So trace this drawing with a 2B pencil and darken this drawing. And now we are going to start coloring. First we fill up a tone for the background and a foreground. We start with one yellowish ochreish color, slightly add brown in it and fill up this color in a background, that is on a wall and a figures. And for the foreground we are applying a grey tone. Slightly bluish grey color is there. And all the colors are transparent. Outside of the window also I am fill up a greyish bluish color. Now this is our first application of the color. Now we start applying color on the figures. I am applying a blue color on the shirt of the person who is standing. on a left hand side part, full shirt with a plain blue color. First we apply all the figures with the plain colors and then give details with the lights and shadows. For the pant I use a combination of blue and brown, that is nearly a black color, not exactly black but darken blue color, because most of the uh, figures has a dark pant and it's look good for the combination of the blue. That same color with the slight amount of red I am using for the hair. All figures hair I am going to apply with the same tone, and afterward I am going to give some light and dark shades, that is details. By adding some white and yellow color. The mostly hairs are black, but I am not using directly black color here. I am using a combination of blue and brown. Memory drawing has some rules. You need to draw at least 4 human figures in a memory drawing. You have to arrange a drawing properly on a page. Human figure at least one width, that is minimum 15 centimeter in height who is standing, and sitting figure minimum 10 to 12 centimeter. Background and foreground you have to show in a memory drawing. It is very much necessary in memory drawing. You have to divide a drawing in a 2 parts, background and foreground. Now I am going to apply a yellowish ochre color on a wall, background wall. Now what is background and what is foreground, that is also more important. The surface behind the figures, that is wall, sky or whatever is on the back side of the human figures are the background. Now what is foreground? The remaining part of the surface, that is tiles or the surface on which figures are standing or sitting, these are the foreground. That means the surface, those are like ground, tiles, flooring, all these parts are the foreground. When you divide on a memory drawing in a 2 parts, you must draw human figures standing or sitting on a foreground. On above foreground, if you draw a figure standing, they look like flying in the sky. That's why this is very much important, that you have to divide a surface in a foreground and background, and how to arrange a drawing on a paper. The arrangement of the paper also very much important. How to arrange human figures on a papers, this is also most important. human proportion also more important. That's why the memory drawing is a most difficult drawing for the grade examination, because it has a many criterias are there: human proportion, head proportions, arrangement on a paper, application of the colors, shade light, then shadow. Everything is necessary to understand for the memory drawing. Now for the foreground I am using a gray color, the combination of the blue, brown and white, and also we showing a different shades of the gray color, like behind the stool might be their surface got darkened. That's why this has a darkened gray color, and the figure sitting near the door, there also some dark tones are there because it's got shadow on a foreground of these human figures. That's why the dark gray color we are using there. Now here is the meeting point of the foreground and background. Here we are using brown and gray mixing technique. In background we apply a dark brown color because there is a depth outside a door. That's why we apply a dark tones of the brown by adding some Persian blue and red color, and this tone we are going to merge with the gray color. Like that. Now this look like a depth here. Now we add some base tones on the human figures. Different colors clothes they are wearing, but these are the carpenters, that is painters. That's why they're using dirty clothes, or maybe the clothes gets dirty. That's why we use dull colors for their clothes. For the window I am using a reddish brown color. It's look good for the border of the window. This window got highlighted because of the frame of the window. On this figure I am using a dark pink color. Crimson red plus white. And I am adding some dark tone also there for the dimensions. Just apply a color in one direction. Here also I am adding some dark tone for the dimension. These are the most important parts in a memory drawing, and for that you have to need to understand from where the lights come. Here is the only way to light come is from the outside of the window. That's why we are showing light tones toward the windows. You must apply at least 3 tones of the colors for the dimensions. That's why just I am applying uh, strokes of the colors, light and dark. Now this is a second technique of the application of the color. Directly we are going to apply dark light colors and mix together. Here also first we have to apply grey color full and then apply some dark tone. When we apply a color on a paper or we can make a composition, we need to understand the balancing and the dominations of the design also, and we are going to use the combinations in a memory drawings also. That's why I am using a greenish yellow color to the shirt of this person. Outside the window I am applying some bluish greenish colors so that it's look on a greenery outside a window. Now I am adding some light tone, more light tones on a shirt. You have to alternately work on a different figures, because when you apply a color on a one figure, that time this color is wet, and if you overlap the different color or next tone on the same figure, this might be merged in a background color. So you have to work on one figure, then again do some work on a different figure, and then come back to this first figure. I am showing some dimensions to the cloth of the figures. I am adding some dark tones. In hairs also we are adding some dark tones with a dark blue brown color. The lights comes from the outside the window, that's why some part of the hairs I am left grey. Bucket also we are going to color like an object. That's why it has also a 3 tones, light, middle and dark. This person is wearing a dhoti. That's why I am using a light grey color, more white and small amount of grey. Then I am going to show the dimensions to the clothes by adding some white tones. These are some highlights on a cloth. Now on a figure's cloth, I am showing a more than 3 tones: middle, dark, dark, then again middle and then light tone. Same way you have to work on objects also. This bucket I am showing 3 tones: dark, middle and light. And for depth I am adding some brown color. If you understand object drawing, dimensions of the object drawing, then you can easily color the human figures also with dimensions. That's why the memory drawing has a knowledge of all type of drawings: object, nature, 2D design. Everything you have to need to understand properly to draw a memory drawing and color it properly. Now on the stools also I am using a yellowish brown color, the wooden tone, and on a darkened part I am adding some brown color so it's get a darkened tone. Till now I am not doing work on a skin. I am just working on a background and objects, clothes, because we are going through dark to light color scheme. That's why all the dark tones I am going to apply first, and finally the skin depend on the tone of the cloths and a background we apply. On a darkened part I am applying a dark tone of the skin color. If you have a fresh tint color, you can directly use it for the skin, but I don't have a skin color that is fresh tint. That's why I make it with the yellow ochre, red and white color. And for the dark tone I am adding some brown and red color. Now these are the Indian figures. They are slightly brownish in shade. Mostly the fair skins are exactly same tone as the fresh tint color. So even if you have a fresh tint color, you need to add some brown and red color in the fresh tint color to apply one basic tone for the dark tone. I am adding one figure with the beard. Here also I am going to show the dimension. First we apply only dark tones or darkish middle tone on a human figures, then apply a dark tone, and finally we add light tone on a human figures to get a dimensions. All figures has their own skin tone. Different skin tone you can make it by adding brown, red, yellow ochre combination. I am here using a same skin tone for the all human figures, not making many changes in shades. You also need to apply same tones of the human figures. Sometime you can left some background part also for the light tone and dark tone, depend on a background color. Yeah, or you can say you can take advantage of the background in human figures and color applications also. I am adding one color bucket here directly with the color. You can add also such kind of objects, depend on a situation. Or you can draw with the pencil also, because poster colors dry quickly. It's not take more time to dry. Now we are making outline with a dark brown or a dark blue color to give a dimensions and details to the human figures. We are going to draw eyes, nose and outlines on human figures. I am using here 0 number brush for the outlining. If you not comfortable with the brush, you can use a black micro tip pen for this outlining. That's why I am adding a black micro tip pen in a memory drawing material. I am very much comfortable with the brush. That's why I am using a 0 number brush. And the most important thing is, when we outline with the brush, we get different dimensions and strokes of the lines, while when you outline with the black micro tip pen, you get only one dimension or one stroke of the line. So this is the main advantage when you outline with the brush. So make a practice and try to make it with the brush. It's very much useful for you, and also you understand the handling of the brush also. So do practice and do this. This is very much useful for you for the memory drawing, as well as the another drawings also, like design or object drawings also. Like we are using a dark tone for the outline here. Likewise, we can use a darkened tone of the color that we use on a surface. When we outline any object drawing, we use a darkened tone of this object. Like if your object is red, we add some brown or slightly blue color in a red to make outline to these objects. Here we are using only dark tone of the brown and blue, but still it's look good. To these sitting figures also outline with the color. Now see how we use our creativity and how we outline the objects and the figures. If you observe properly, you can understand the handling of the brush. I am using a single stroke for this outlining, and this happened because of the practice and the handling of the brush. I am handle a brush like on a pencil or a pen. Like use a marker, the same way you can use a brush. On the spot also you can add some details to the human figures, like I am adding a mustache to this human figure, so it's look good, pretty. When we apply a colors on a figure, all the features are gets fade out because of the applications of the colors. But after we gets an outline or give an outline to these figures, they get a dimensions and a details features also. So, but for that you need to understand human proportions and dimensions and folds of the cloths, everything. If you don't know the dimensions and features of the figures and objects, you won't be able to outline the figures, and you need to outline your, or you can say you need to trace your drawing before you start the coloring. In a both way you can color or you can trace a drawing. First you have to draw, then trace your drawing with a black macro tip pen, and then color full memory drawing with the different shapes and tones of the colors. But when you apply a color on a black macro tip pen, the shades of the colors might be fade out. That's why this is the safer technique for you to first draw, then apply a color, and then trace with the black macro tip pen or with the 0 number brush. All the human figures gets a dimensions by adding outlines and some dark tones. Now the final steps is remaining, that is the shadow, and shadow is the most important part of the memory drawing. If you're not able to give a shadow, then all the figures look like they are flying. And in a grade examination assessment, the examiner is observing your creativity and your all the details, that is how you apply a color on a human figures, how you show the dimensions with the different tones, have you show a dimension or the shadow on a human figures and on a foregrounds. Now all objects and backgrounds we fill up and trace with the black color. Now we showing a shadow. Now lights come from the window, so the shadow is opposite side of the window. That is on a right hand side part, and on some figures on the left hand side part. In a bucket we are showing a shadow on both the sides, because it's got shades from the human figure also, because behind this bucket this yellow human figure is there. And now this is our final drawing with the coloring. Thank you, best of luck.